YouTube is being a dingus. YouTube. That was my fault. That was my fault entirely. You'll see that there's another live stream on the channel called Livestream 72 dash more
You'll
work.
see that there's another
I'm yelling at you again, one sec.
on the channel called
Shh. I'm yelling at you for a sec, one sec. Just gotta quieten myself down. Just let's all get quiet again.
But yes, you'll see that there's another live stream on my channel titled 72. And that was just a short clip of me realizing that I accidentally streamed to my go live key as opposed to this stream's key. So that's my bad. Hello everyone. Welcome to the stream's key. So that's my bad. Yes, and now I'm in the correct place. So this one is the wrong one. I'm pretty sure. Yes, yeah, okay, so now I'm going to delete this one. I'm a dingus. And I blame YouTube, of course, because it's easy to blame YouTube, because that's a good, easy blame. So I'm going to delete this one. I understand deleting is permanent. And I'm going to keep this one up. Okay, so the previous stream that I did... Where was the previous stream? So, more work, 71... Now this is 72, and this is the one I am in. I'm going to use these ones from now on. And yeah, hello everyone. Welcome to the stream. Cool. Excellent. Alrighty, cool. I'm going to get rid of all the other ones. This one too, and this one as well. And now we are ready to rock and roll. YouTube has been terrible since 2020 started. Bruh, YouTube has been terrible since 2008. When did YouTube start? 2005, I meant. Alright, let's get back to making Pear Butter laugh. So how is everyone today? Oui, oui. I'm just pressing my French press. Coffee, 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 coffee. The French word for coffee is café, is it not? French for coffee. Coffee. That's what the coffee is. I am tired, but that's not a new thing. I'm going to get my coffee into my cup. I'm going to let this French press sit here and get moldy. Well, I was never on Twitter, so I was on Twitter for a little bit, and then I realized how much of just a pool of scum and villainy it is, and so I got rid of it. Or at least, I'm still on there, but I just don't engage with anything on Twitter, because to do so is to resign yourself to a life of misery, to be perfectly honest. Twitter is not a place you go if you want to be a good person, and if you want to be a happy individual. Just avoid it, and you'll be fine. Pretty much, that's the same story for basically anywhere on the internet. You don't want to go there if you want to live a fulfilling life. Or it's like, Twitter is just one of the symptoms that you've resigned yourself to having an unfulfilling life. And, you know, other places like Reddit are just other, more points to the symptoms. YouTube is one of them too. It's a toxic place full of toxic people. I mean, that's just true of the internet, isn't it? It's just, the internet in general is just a toxic place full of toxic people. And you gotta wade yourself through all the toxicity and try not to get caught with it, but it's very difficult. Very difficult indeed. Alrighty, so I'm gonna go ahead and make Pear butter. Lose her shit. I'm gonna move this inwards. There we go. It's very true. Twitter as a place is just... Twitter as a concept is more designed for people to just fling their opinions at others. And I appreciate the aspect of having a platform in which you're only allowed to broadcast a certain amount of characters. Because with brevity comes more the understanding or better display of what you're intending on saying. Because as they say, what is it? Cadet might know this off road. At least, did you watch Doctor Who? Did Cadet watch Doctor Who a lot? I can't remember. I'm pretty sure. But her main, like, by rote thing was Lord of the Rings, so I don't forget that one. But no, yes, you loved Clara. That's right. It's been a while. But the words, I don't know. The words are able to hide the truth or something like that. I can't remember. It's the one word test. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. Here. Oh, someone's in the entry booth. Hello, shooting star. Have a look at the rules. And then have a look at the roles. The rules and the roles. The two most important ones. The rules and roles. That's the same for Rocky Road as well. When did Rocky Road get here? At Shooting Star, you were here before, weren't you? I recognize your name. Me. That's right. Both ye pick a role. If you dare. Yar. Pirate. There's a blob pirate, yay. Yes. Because of Clara, your cat. Oh, this is fucking good coffee. I hate my friend for... There's this one, okay, so I do need to get his name real quick. Chris something, I think. YouTube. I watch a lot of his shorts, his animations. He's got a very pleasant voice to listen to. It's just impossible to not be relaxed while listening to this guy's voice. I think it's Chris H something. So if I go to my history... there it is. Chris Holbeck. That's him.
Meet the German air.
Get
Check out this cute video.
All right.
Ready to...
Why was I on this subject? I can't remember why I was on this subject. Oh dear. Oh yes, that's right. I remember now. It's because of the coffee. He made an animation where it's like, oh, I'm giving Jessica a gift of this coffee sampler, and then the other person in the animation was like, but I thought you hated Jessica. And he's like, yeah, I do, but I'm giving her, but she always just gets the free coffee from the cafe out of the little packets, and what I'm giving her is this sampler, which would allow her to actually see what coffee is supposed to taste like, and so she'll end up having to either make her own coffee, or she'll have to buy it from the cafe across the road. This little gift is gonna cost her millions. Yeah, so now I know what good coffee tastes like. Although, I started off being like, yeah, Macrona is pretty good. Blend 43 is pretty shit. And then if you just mix Blend 43 with a bit of sugar, it's pretty fucking good. Those of you, I'm not sure if Blend 43 is a common staple in the free coffee things in America, but in Australia it's pretty common. The Nescafe Blend 43. You know, it saved a man's life. So. Okay, excellent. Yeah, so make sure you pick a role out of the list in the roles server. I've got... Not a dead pixel. Alright, cool. I was like, is that a dead pixel? I'm gonna slightly lower that one there. What does he say? What are you doing?
AS. You're making
I
me.
can't breathe. Okay.
EYES. ES.
Where does he say, what are you doing?
What are you crying for?
Oh, here.
What does it...
What are you doing?
Okay, try again. What does...
What are you doing?
Is that little... Is that from her or him?
What are you doing?
Okay. What does it... Does it... Does it...
What are you?
No, her mouth is open at this time. I think that's from him. I might just have to do a little smooth criminal cut at some point to get rid of just that sound, because I'm just like, who the fuck is it? I don't know. I don't care. Alright. Yeah, like, Pear Butter's fucking lip sync's taking so much longer than Brightmax, because, like, you have a look at Brightmax, and look, there's just nothing there. One sec. And you can see, like, all of it's just interspersed, because there's a lot of, like, him just saying nothing. But when it comes to Pear Butters, she's constantly laughing, so she's constantly moving her mouth, which is, I mean, it's adorable, but it's also a lot of work. You are welcome to get both. All collaborators. Yar, it be prithee to thee that yar that ye it be prithee to thee that ye get yonder notifications roll. Welcome aboard at Shooting Star. Aboard looks like a weird word. Alright, so now I'm going to get rid of Diamond Cheese one. Cool.
Yar, it be prithee to thee that ye get a yonder notifications roll. Welcome aboard. Also, if you happen to be Australian in any way, or English at all, I'll give you an extra roll. Yeah. That's it. I should probably have one for Americans as well, because that's probably going to be like the majority of people. But like, you can assume that if they don't have a role, they're probably American. But I'm pretty sure there's a couple of Russians in my server too. Maybe. Who's Shadow Follower? No roles. Because I know that a few of them used to join my stream. And if they still do, I still appreciate their existences. I don't hold any current events to account because my hot take is that the actions of the country does not reflect the actions of the people. So it's still a terrible circumstance that's what's happening, and that's the last I'm going to talk about it because this is not the place for that. So this is a happy-go-lucky live stream where Pear Butter is shitting herself. Absolutely pissing herself laughing. Laughing, that's a new one. So I'm going to get rid of some of the wide smile, but I'll just get rid of that one. Some bit of smoke. There we go. The other thing I'm not exactly a big fan of about Twitter specifically is that the only time in which there's ever any sort of conversation or back and forth is when you have a controversial idea, which is, I mean, I would say a good thing for preventing echo chambers. But when you have a take on something that a lot of people don't like, then you get ratioed. And it doesn't really matter what take your subject is on, or what subject your take is on. But if just a lot of people don't like it, then you've got a lot of conversation, a lot of tweets to go through. And the problem is that your take, or rather the people's take of your take, so the instances in which you get ratioed could just be based on a basis of a misunderstanding or a miscommunication, based off of the fact that there's a limited character set for you to actually state your position. And so the amount of people that are reacting to your what you had sent may actually just be reacting to a miscommunication or a misunderstanding of what you had said. And so in order to rectify that, you'd have to reply to each of the thousands of replies that you have to convince every individual person that they had misunderstood what you were saying. Or you make another tweet, which, based off of the miscommunication of your original tweet, would then potentially get a large portion of those people, or even more people, to, again, not believe what you were saying based off of their misunderstanding of your first take. Now, it could also just be that you're a garbage human being and you do actually have really bad takes, but it's a lot of work, so I'm just not interested in Twitter. Because I understand from my brief expeditions into Reddit and things like that, is that the way my brain works is very not similar to how many other people's brains work. And I'm just talking about little things like, I tried posting a couple of life pro tips where I'm like, hey, the first one I did was try eating your burger over your fries so that any sauces or any like cheese bits that drip out will then go on your fries, and then when you finish with your burger, you'll have loaded fries. And I'm like, hey, that's a pretty cool idea. And everyone's like, wow, that's dumb. That's stupid. Why would you do that? Gross. Soggy fries. Ew. I can't do the gymnastics of keeping my burger over my fries. And here's me just going like, oof, ow, ouchie, ow, ooh, my back. And so I'm like, ugh. The other one that I did, which I still recommend and wholeheartedly, and I steadfastly recommend to everyone, is start randomly at just random points of the day, very casually. Try and describe where you are and how you would get to where you are. And it's not to the point where you have to keep doing this every single day and you have to keep doing this all the time, but just take a random note when you're driving or when you're walking around or like when you're cycling or whatever you got to do, or when you're at work, for instance. Try and describe how you get to your position, because you'd never know when you might need to tell that to an operator or to emergency services, or even just to your friends or something. You know, it's always good to be able to alliterate how to get to your position. And that could also help you with being able to give directions to people as well, because all it is just a practice, a muscle that you're getting. And people are like, wow, why would you be that unerringly paranoid to be in a situation where you need to tell you where you are in emergency? It's like, I'm not saying that you need to be focused on it. Like, you don't need to make that your every single second. It's just start doing that randomly so you could get into the position, and if you do get into that situation, then you can tell them effectively where you are. And I do recommend that you guys start doing that too, because it is an effective tool to have at your disposal, especially when considering talking to emergency services, if you're in that situation where you need it. In the very unlikely chance that you'll be in that situation, but you'll be more in control of yourself because you'll have something that you can do in that situation that you can focus on without panicking. But yeah, so I had discovered in my brief forays into Reddit that my brain works differently to a lot of people. And those are two examples as to how it is. And the thing I want to avoid is any sort of misunderstanding being portrayed through the limited characters in Twitter for me to get completely destroyed on the internet. So to avoid that, I'm just going to be like, nah, not responding, not adding anything to any sort of controversy. So if you want a drama-free experience, come to me. What's happening? It's my... Oh. We back? We back. So yeah, it's understandably the type of people that would be in this live stream would likely have a similar mindset to myself, as they had found as much enjoyment out of my content as I have, because you might have similar life experiences or mind workings as I do, which is why you enjoy my content, which is why you are here. So it's understandable that the people that are in my live streams would be more akin to accepting my ideologies, or not my ideologies, but my ideas, or my alliterations of my ideas, just for the bare basis of the fact that you are in fact here. So that's one of the reasons why echo chambers on YouTube can form so easily, because of the fact of how YouTube cultivates a environment of limited discussion. Because the people that are interested in a certain topic or a certain way of describing a certain topic would only get recommended videos that agree with that specific viewpoint of that topic. And I found myself doing that as well, in my own sort of minds. I don't exactly have the same amount of patience for an individual who is talking about a subject in a way I don't agree in, and that's a shortcoming that I have noticed in myself, and thus my engagement with those types of videos is limited, and so YouTube doesn't recommend that to me, which means that I cannot, or at least I can't trust that YouTube would be able to provide a space in which my own ideas can be met with proper contention and be able to change my ideas, which is why I do just enjoy talking with people in general, because that doesn't happen with humans. It's always good to be able to have that dissenting discussion in real life, because you can look at someone in the eyes and say, try to convince me, please. I'm going to have points that I hold steadfast that I'll try to describe to you. I'll try to convince you of my mindset. I want you to try and convince me of your mindset. And the thing about discussion, though, is that it doesn't have to be fueled with hate. In fact, it's best if it's not. Because if you're able to have that discussion both ways, in the end, you may not be able to convince them of your idea. They may not be able to convince you of their idea. But at least you'd be able to walk away understanding that you have convinced them and they have convinced you that you each other believe and understand in your own ideas. And you can understand why they believe in that idea. That's the most important part for you to be able to at least take away from a conversation. If you don't succeed in convincing them of your viewpoint, you should at least be able to walk away understanding why they have their viewpoint, which is the goal in many discussions that you should have. It should never be, the goals of discussion should never be that you win and you convince them that to think the same way you do. But it should be that you walk away from that conversation understanding why they have that opinion. Words to live by.
AS.
So, what I'm going to do here is I think See, one of the things that I'm not a fan of with making characters laugh is that I did it once, I did it really well, and I've never been able to replicate it since. And I'm just like, God damn it, how did I do that? And I think it's because when I did the first time I did a laugh, which I will bring up right now. No. Here it is. And you will all recognize this if you've heard me rant about it before. So let me go ahead and just go to make sure I don't have any of my gigabytes of porn open up. There we go. Alright, so you'll recognize this. The one character that I made laugh, which I've never been able to replicate successfully, has been this. Nightmare Moon doing that. And I'm like, hey, that was a really cool laugh. I really enjoyed that, making that laugh. That was cool. And then I've never been able to replicate it. And I've hated it ever since, because I'm like, God damn, it was good. And I did it well the first time. And now I can never do it again. But I'm pretty sure the way that I made Nightmare Moon laugh there was I did the starting laugh position, which is with her head down, and then I did the ending laughing position, and then I sort of like made it zigzag the way through. So when you do the first position and the last position, you'll get the line of tangent between those 2 points, and then I essentially just squiggled it. I just squiggled it between the two, and that sort of made it sense. So you can see here that I've got the line of tangent from here to there, and I should be able to make it squiggle. So here I'm going to open the mouth up. Here I'm going to close it again. Freeze it there. Open up a little bit. I need to get rid of her teeth. No. No. I don't have a VR headset currently, but I really want to get my hands on one because we recently kicked out our roommate so that we could turn his room into a VR room. No. roommate no longer needs to go to university, and so my mum, who's my landlord, decided, hey, he doesn't need to be here anymore, so she didn't want him in the house anymore, so it's fine. And so it was a regular eviction. Just a regular old everyday eviction. But with that opens up a new room, an empty room, with a lot of space, which I'll be able to set up a VR console there. But the question is getting my hands on a VR console. Hopefully I'll be able to plan and have enough money to be able to go back to the States in sometime in November or December. I would really love to go back to the snow. I know I don't have to go to the States to go to the snow, but I really enjoyed Purgatory and Colorado. And I would love to see the US Northwest. And I do also have this small little inkling of a video idea that I may or may not want to make, where I compare the world's Brisbanes against each other. And there's 4 Brisbanes in the world, 1 of which is in Australia, and 3 of which is in the States. But it's really great because one of the Brisbanes in the States, which I think this is the one in, it's either in Illinois or North Dakota. So there's 3 Brisbanes. One's in California, one's in North Dakota, and one's in Illinois, right next to Chicago. And one of those is a ghost town, which I'm going to be like, this is cool. Literally, all it is just a network of dirt roads, and that's all it is. And I'm like, wow, this one wins. The people here are great. But yeah, that's the sort of like idea. It's like, hey, I'd like to compare the world's Brisbanes against each other. But that's like an idea for one. So the sounds that I'm trying to bookmark specifically, I'm trying to bookmark a specific set of sounds that Pear Butter here is making. And when she's wheezing out, which is this sound here, very quiet, but I'm pretty sure you might be able to hear it. Let me just bring that up a bit. It's exceedingly quiet. But there's the 2 sounds. There's the wheezing sound, which is what I'm imagining as her face sort of coming down to a relaxed state. And then there's the, I'm not sure what it's called, the throat clicking sound, whatever it is, which is this sound. So when I'm going to do a little demonstration. When my finger goes up, that's the wheezing, and when it goes down, that's the throat click sound. So if I go through her laughing track.
AS.
So it's that sort of, and that's what I'm trying to, and you can see the finger position I was making, you sort of go up and down like that. And that's what I kind of want to do with her lip sync here. But the other thing as well is that what I'm going to have her do.
Spell.
Yes.
What does EYES spell?
Yes.
I also really love the spell.
EYES spell.
That one there.
Yes.
But I'm not a fan of the way she laughs.
What are you crying for?
What does it...
What are you doing?
Okay, try again.
So here, during this laughter, I want her to like reach across and start like hugging him and holding onto him as she's just dying, and that's when he says,
What are you doing?
"What do you do?" And then the other thing I want to do is that when she says, "Okay, try again,"
What are you doing?
Okay, try again.
at this point she's going to like scooch closer to him, because I'm like, this is going to be like a romantic sort of silly little animation, which I'm going to have fun with, and that's the sort of thing I'm going to have fun with, which is going to be great.
What does EYES spell?
Yes.
What does EYES spell?
Ease. AS.
I'm not a fan of that.
Ease.
This is good. I've like when I've been from the moment I started like thinking about this animation, every step of the way of me actually animating it, I've had this dumb smile on my face because it's going to be adorable.
AS.
It is hard. It is hard. Absolutely. This is going to be a difficult one to do. Because laughter is one of those things where it's like, you have to get it right. Yes. That wheeze, yeah.
Yes.
You see that?
Yes. Yes.
So, actually, so here, I actually need to open that mouth.
Yes.
And then here, I'm going to open her mouth again.
What are you crying for?
What does it...
What are you doing?
Okay, try again. What does YES spell?
Yes.
What does
And like the thing about it is that when like you're listening to the thing, it's just like I don't know, a couple of people, just an American couple, but as soon as the man in the situation says, "What are you crying for?" are like instantly blasted with the image of Bright Mac. And I'm like, this is a Pear Butter and Bright Mac animation. And I was like, this is the only way this can be. The original thing, I had to remember it because I keep remembering. Okay, I go to the original content, but the thing that actually got me to start thinking about this was this animation that Cadet showed me, I'm pretty sure, with oh yeah, okay. Welcome to the thing. All notifications, and you'll get games. So that's pretty much all of them. So I'm just gonna give you all of them, bruh. Cool. Sterling Rivers, welcome, my boy. And Mr. Blue Duck, you've requested the final piece of the puzzle, and now I hath bequeathed to thee the blessing of the all notification. Mischief. Alright, cool. I'm gonna get rid of these ones now. Yes. So during the financial meeting, there's before the financial meeting, during the financial meeting, and then the financial meeting. Hang on. That's the one where it's downstairs, isn't it? Ugh, this boy doesn't even know his own animations. Ugh, disgusting. Did I even make them? Is this just stolen valor? Diddly. So, there's outside the financial meeting. There's the financial meeting, and then during the financial meeting is the one downstairs. Yeah, yep. I'd figured that one was the case. Yes, during the financial meeting was a very nice one. That was actually the first and last time I ever created a map using the Hammer editor for an animation. I don't recommend it, because Hammer, like, it's good if you want to get into mapping maps for, like, Counter-Strike or Team Fortress or something like that. Definitely get into it, because that's the tool that they use.
but it's terrible. It's just bad. It's just bad. It's such a bad UI and bad editor. But you can make really powerful things with it, which is the good part. But yeah. Anyway, but yeah, during the financial meeting is a good one. I do have this idea that I'm playing with that I want to redux all of these old animations of mine. But like, it's a lot of work. And like the thing is that previously I could knock out an animation in like a week because I wasn't as good as I am now. And with the skill that I have brought up comes a level of perfection, or at least a level of minimum value of quality that I won't accept if it's beneath that. And as I've become more skilled, so too has this minimum accepted quality come up, which means that the amount of time it takes for me to make an animation is skyrocketed. Unless I'm specifically making an animation which has a low minimum of quality. Ergo, things like Twilight Coronation.mp4. Is it .mp4 or is it MKV? It's MP4. Twilight Coronation MP4 or Not a Pony animation. Like, specifically the shitposts.
Yes. Yes.
It's like she's already out of breath
Yes.
here. And what he says here just causes her to just die.
You're making
I
me.
can't breathe.
Oh, I'm so excited for the ending of this animation. Bruh, you guys are excited for it. I'm excited for it. I usually... I'm gonna do that at the end. Alright.
Yes. Yes.
See, I'm not a fan of that. God damn. So, this one specifically, I'm gonna get rid of. Get rid of that stretch there. Let's try that.
Yes. Yes.
I like the last bit though. That's fine.
Yes.
Although it's really funny, I used to have a annotation on the during the financial meeting, which said I don't know how to put a TV here, because previously I would just export the animation and then upload that directly to YouTube as opposed to going through an editor. Now I know how to put the TV there, but I kind of don't want to. Just that one there. There's just a blank screen there. And it's just like, well, there you go. Finished works. Let's see if I can pick up the anons here. Copy message link. And then reply to this one with that message link. And then... what emoticons can I use? The hell? Oh, okay. That one. Okay, it doesn't actually do the thing I wanted to, but it's going to go to that one, which is good. Like, just quick, ACG Chip in my server has done fantastic with his plushies. Like, I'm not sure if you can see works in progress going all the way back up. Let's see. From user AZG Chip. Ugh. Yeah, from AZ. Unless his name is not it. Rude. Don't be rude. But you can see where their modeling adventure started off with this is clay modeling. I'm not sure if they were doing plushies at that point as well, but yeah, it's just really cool to have this sort of like this, I guess, through line of progression in people's skill just in some channels in my server, which I thought was really cool. And it's like very plain to see where you can scroll back up, where you see people getting when you're scrolling up, you can see people getting gradually less skilled and less skilled, but as you're scrolling down, people are getting better and better, and it's like, hey, that's really cool. So it's very cool. But I might just have to get a commission off of AZG Chip. I mean, I do have a Quillo, and I also have a Quillo. This adorable bean Quillo and Quillo, and I want to have like a bigger Quillo as well. It's like, don't you talk to me or my son again. But yes, they sit here on the desk, and they are indeed adored. And I might have to get a bigger one. So it's, don't you talk to me or my son or his son again.
Yes.
So there's this point here, which I'm going to open her mouth again, get rid of some of that O, put some more of that wide smile in, which is going to sustain until here, but actually I'm going to delete some of that one, put that here, move this one forward, and here she's gonna lose her shit. Yes. Is there ski fields in Pacific Northwest? Of course there is. There would be. If there's some in Colorado, there's obviously some in the Northwest. I would have liked to have seen Yosemite, but apparently it's under 600,000 kilometers of water, so that's a problem. It may be better by like the amount of damage that I've seen in some of the photos that Cadet has shown that's sent in the things is like that damage is pretty significant, and it's not going to get fixed in half a year. But yeah, it's a disturbing trend of like public officials going on holidays when their places they're supposed to be serving is like, yeah, public officials going on holidays where the places they're supposed to be serving is like, is being destroyed by something, and they're just like, fucking, I'm on holiday, get fucked. Ooh. So I'm not a fan of how wide her mouth is. That's probably better. Now this one, I'm gonna grab a thing here and move it forward.
You're making me.
Okay, so I'm gonna do that thing that I said before. Okay, that's fine, by the way. She's fine. Yeah, she's been going pretty well. She's still live streaming, which if you are in her server, if not, go ahead and follow her YouTube channel. She live stream pretty much, I think it's twice every week, somewhat. She's got 2 different types of live stream. She does Jackbox streams occasionally, but yeah, she always puts notifications in her server about when she's streaming. And she's a lot more consistent than I am. And she can actually do it based off of a weekly schedule as opposed to me, which is a... What's the... Okay, so... Try. Let's have a look at that. Numerical prefix. What's the numerical prefix for 8? It's not oct, is it? I mean, that's... octant. So bi-weekly multiple 7 8. Okay, so there isn't one for octadaily, or would it be octant weekly? No, it'd be octadaily. Every 8 days. Every 8 days. So that's what my week schedule is. Because of my work, I do 4 days on, then 4 days off. So it's yeah, it's every 8 days is my consistent schedule. You're more than welcome to see if she has any commissions open. She's got, if you look at her DeviantArt, a cadet red shirt. Let's have a look if it is actually that one still. DeviantArt. I think it's this one. Yes. Now, if she says her prices are open, if her prices are still open. That was 2021, May 27. I'm not sure if it's still current. What was the last thing she posted onto DeviantArt was, actually? Oh, the last thing she posted was this one, which was June 10th. So she is still active there, which is good news. But yeah, so if you check out her DeviantArt, she's got a commissions list. Let me just pull that up real quick. I can't reply to things, so here you go. That's the link to her commissions list, and you can contact her through DeviantArt or from Discord, which I'm pretty sure she would have a link to somewhere on her DeviantArt. Let me just have a look. No. Damn, who voices Megabyte? Reboot. Fuck, that was a good show. Who voices him? He's also Captain Arrow, I believe. Tony J.
So Tony J. IMDb. He's also in The Hunchback of Notre Dame as Frollo. He was Frollo in Notre Dame. Of course he was. Was he in... No, he was the narrator in Treasure Planet. Interesting. But yes, he's Megabyte. Megabyte. Let me just grab a clip of Megabyte. Videos. Here we go.
Hexadecimal's power. Now that I command Hexadecimal's power, none can stand against me.
You did that? To your own sister?
Yes. It's rather good, isn't it?
Yes. It's rather good, isn't it? Good old Megabyte. Anyway, let's have a look. Someone mentioned me. What? Oh, it's ya boy. You've requested the final piece of the puzzle, and now I hath bequeathed to thee the blessing of the all notification. Anyway, back to actually doing what I'm supposed to be doing. So this is where she's back to... I want her to be, like, smiling like nobody's business. That's a good face to make. Alright, cool. And then the other thing that I have to keep remembering is that whilst I'm doing the lip sync here, I don't have the full picture of what her face is actually doing. And the only way I can get the full picture of what her face is actually doing is by animating the rest of her face. And I'm not going to do that until after I've finished the motions and things. Or I'm going to do that in conjunction with the motions. But I can't just look at the mouth and see that it's incomplete, because currently it is incomplete, because she's not laughing with her eyes at the moment. And she needs to be laughing with her entire form. So that's one of the reasons why it's like, it's a little bit off-putting or whatever, because of the fact that it isn't complete yet. That's definitely her. So this one, I'm going to get rid of this key point. Move this closer. I'm going to increase the O slider. There we go. So at this point, I'm going to O, get rid of her teeth. I'm going to smirk, not get rid of her teeth entirely. There we go. And then nose wrinkle. Bust out the nose wrinkle. Oh, that's so good.
You're making me...
So this, that there, I'm not a particular fan of. So here, I'm just going to do that. There we go. Good, good. She's snorting. She really be snorting though. I've noticed that I've started slightly leaning to the right here. Let me just realign my spine real quick. Oh.
You're making me. You're making me.
What does EYES spell?
Ease. E.
So here I'm going to keep the S up as well. Yeah. And then keep mouth O up a little bit more with the... There we go.
Ease. AS. You're making me.
I really love that snort. I'm loving that snort. That's so good.
S. You're making me.
Okay, I need to watch the rest of it. One sec.
Okay, what does YES spell?
Yes.
What does EYES spell?
Yes.
One sec.
Okay, what does YES spell?
Yes.
What does EYES spell?
Yes.
What does EYES spell?
ES. What is happening?
Okay, what does YES spell?
Yes.
What does EYES spell?
ES. What are you crying for?
What does...
What are you doing?
Okay, try again. What does YES spell?
Yes.
What does EYES spell?
Ease. AS. You're making me.
Alright, I need to do the I can't breathe before we finish here.
You're making me.
And I'm going to give him a nose wrinkle again. So I'm going to reduce the jaw open here.
It's looking so good so far. So here, I'm going to do my old classic with a bit of extra. Mouth B, mouth O. There we go. And then, mouth full. My old classic when making P and B noises. But here, I'm also going to add a bit of the nose wrinkle. There we go. There's the scrunch. Nope. Lower lip out. Nope. S O pucker. Mouth full, down to 0. That's not looking very good. That's better. Very nice. All right.
You're making me. You're making me. You're making me. You're making me. You're making me.
I love that. I love it so much. I love it. Oh my god!
Yes.
What does E-Y-E-S spell?
Ease. A-S. You're making me.
Okay.
E-Y.
Oh.
I-E-S. E-S.
Say it again. What does E-Y-E-S spell?
Yes. What?
That's the one I'm looking forward to. Like that's the both the lip sync, the motion, everything, the whole thing I'm looking forward to is this. Is this.
What?
That one. That's what I'm looking forward to. Like like the whole part of that, her lip sync, her facial expression, her motions, all of that is leading up to that moment with the yeah. That's what I'm holding dear to my heart.
What?
Because it's like, oh, every single way I imagine it is just gonna be the best. Oh, it's gonna be great.
You're making me cry. What?
E-Y-E-S.
E-Y-E. Eyes.
That's so good. It's gonna be brilliant. Anyway.
Okay, what does Y-E-S spell?
Yes.
What does E-Y-E-S spell?
Yes.
What does E-Y-E-S spell?
E-S. What is happening?
What does Y-E-S spell?
Yes.
What does E-Y-E-S spell?
E-S. What are you crying for?
What does it...
What are you doing?
Okay, try again. What does Y-E-S spell?
Yes.
What does E-Y-E-S spell?
E's. A-S. You're making me...
I can't breathe. Okay,
I fucking love how I did that. Like,
You're making
I
me...
can't breathe.
that's beautiful.
You're making
I
me...
can't breathe.
I did so good in that. I did really good. I appreciate, you have to appreciate your own work sometimes, and I did really well there. Whoa. Whoa. Oh, my wrist.
Okay. Okay.
Too wide. Okay. Okay.
E-Y.
Okay.
E-Y. E... E-Y. E-Y.
Oh, absolutely. There's no doubt in my mind that this probably won't be done until next year. Just being like perfectly honest with that, I probably won't be done with this until next year. Just because of the amount of time that this sort of takes. And it's not necessarily that animation itself just takes a long time, which it does, but also I take a long time to make animations. So, yes, no doubt that this won't be done until, if not like next year, then at least the end of this year. Maybe it's a good Christmas present. Maybe it might be Valentine's Day. Who knows? I don't. But when this is done, anyone that's subscribed to my Patreon will be able to see it when it's complete. And I'll make a render of this with the lip sync done, and I'll put that as a scrap that you can watch on my Patreon if you're subscribed at least $1 each animation, which, you know, so $1 every year. So there's that.
You're making
I
me
can't breathe. Okay.
E-Y-E-S. E-Y-Y-K.
Actually, she doesn't have her mouth closed here.
Y-E-S. E-S.
Say it again. What does E-Y-E-S spell?
Yes. What? You're
I'm
making me
so
cry.
close.
E-Y-E-S.
E-Y-E. Eyes.
All right.
Okay.
E-Y-E-S. E-Y-E.
I'm gonna get rid of this one.
E-Y. 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 E-Y.
Okay.
E-Y.
Okay.
You're making
I
me.
can't breathe.
I just love that lip sync there.
You're making
I
me.
can't breathe.
That's so good. What does it look like from the front? Ew, terrifying.
You're making
I
me.
can't breathe.
Yeah, it looks good. That's good from the front. I get too used to seeing them from the sides, and I don't see them from the front too often. Which I think that's why Argodamon's lip sync always has the corners of the lips pointed towards it, because I think he lip syncs from the front of their face. That could be another reason.
Yes.
I haven't seen the stream, so it's a very easy way for me to answer that question.
You're making
I
me.
can't breathe. Okay.
E-Y-E.
Okay. What does Y-E-S spell?
Yes.
What does E-Y-E-S
Oh.
spell?
Yes.
What?
Yes. Say yes.
Oh, that's not him. Hang on. Just gonna.
Yes. Yes.
What does E-Y-E-S spell?
Yes.
What does E-Y-E-S spell?
Yes. What is happening?
What does Y-E-S spell?
Yes.
What does E-Y-E-S spell?
Yes.
I also love watching
What are you crying for?
all of these things move. That's fun.
What are you doing?
Okay, try again. What does YES spell?
Yes.
What does EYES spell?
Ease. AS. You're making
I
me.
can't breathe. Okay.
EYES. ES.
What? It's reminding me
Say
of
it
my live
again.
stream that's
What
happening
does
right now.
EYES spell?
I know!
Yes.
I'm doing the live stream.
What?
Shut up! Jeez! Oh, that's Kevin
Make
Rudd.
you
Never
cry.
mind.
What?
Oh wait, that's Kevin Rudd. You Yes, I'm in Kevin Rudd's DMs. It's his Twitter posts. There's only like a few people that I follow on Twitter, going all the way back to that Twitter conversation. And Kevin Rudd is one of them. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Cool. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I still have to get started on paying back my student loans, because I do have student loans, and you do have those in Australia. But student loans only accrue inflation as debt, as interest. At least I think it does. At least it's been 2 to 3% each year, and it applies every month. So that's that. So it's essentially like a normal loan, but it's not. It doesn't affect your like living. I don't have to pay it back. It will continue accruing interest, but it's not like there's a deadline and I have to pay it back and I could lose my belongings if I don't pay it back, that sort of thing. So it's not that same as like a different type of debt. And it's eventually going to get paid off just by my taxes, which I got an email recently saying, hey, you're earning enough where you can start, you have to start paying back your student loans. Which means that my tax rate, which should be somewhere on the lines of, actually, let's see how much my tax is supposed to be. Tax thresholds. Okay, so my tax rate is going to be, it's going to be roughly. Okay, so if I make $90,000 this year, let's have a look at my calculator. I don't think I'm going to make $90,000. I'm roughly about, I'm livable, but I'm not $90,000. But if, assuming that I am going to make $90,000 this year, if I minus the $3,572 from the previous threshold, that's $86,000, and then minus 37,001, and then multiply that by 0.19, so that's 19%, and then I will plus back on the 3,572. That's 12,963. So 12,963 over 90,000. My tax rate's going to be about 15%. So currently, like, the maximum tax I'm going to pay is about 15%, and it's going to be less than 15% because it's only counted on the amount of money above 37,000. It's 19% on the amount of money above 37,000. So it's going to be less than 15%, but it's probably going to be about 16 or 17 or 18% based off of the amount of money that will have to go towards my student loans. In Australia, it's called a HECS debt. That's HECS, higher education.
What does stand for? Higher Education Contribution Scheme. So it's my Higher Education Contribution Scheme, which is a government loan system to now enable you to go to university, but you do have to pay it back. It's not free, but you don't have to pay anything if you're not making enough to pay for it. It does accrue interest, but again, if you're not making enough, you don't pay it back. That's basically how it is. But as soon as you start making enough, they will start... but the thing is that they're not going to charge you extraneous amounts. They're just going to charge you based off of the amount of tax that you pay, which is pretty cool. Yeah. So the hex. Okay, so I was saying it has interest before. It doesn't really, technically. It just increases with inflation. That's all it is. So it increases when everything increases. So once you start earning $46,620, you start paying back your loan. You can also make physical contributions to it too. You can just do it yourself. You can make voluntary repayments through the taxation office. Yeah, so the more you earn, the faster you'll be required to repay your loan. The repayment is worked out as a percentage of your income. To see the current repayment threshold, visit this little website, which I'm going to. So here we go. I'm probably... Okay, maximum bracket is about 6.5%. That's around $90,000. Actually, no, that's 6%. So 6% of my income will have to go to the hex help, which would be, let's have a look. Let me just do a crude 90,000 multiplied by 0.06, which means $5,400 of my taxes is going to go to, might go to my hex help, which is, I mean, it's quite a lot, but it's livable, understandable, I suppose. I'm going to have to check after the stream, though, what my current income is, because I'm expecting to get about 10K back from taxes, so it's likely that I'm only going to be able to get about 5K back from the taxes based off of this hex help, so we'll see how that goes. But anyway, because I've been currently taxing myself at the maximum level, so about 30% of my income is going to the government, which means that I'm probably going to get about 24% of my income back. Or about 20% of my income, or about 10% of my income, or something like that. I don't know how much I'm going to get back, but it's going to be like a mini retirement plan every year. That's my plan.
Eyes.
Eyes. Okay. I've mainly been making conversation for the past 30 minutes or so because I am quite tired at the moment, and I'm not sure if I can focus as much as I want on animation anymore, which is a bit of a shame. But what I might do instead, I might just work on the lighting a bit. So I'm gonna unload this map and go to the void map. Black void. Kerchoo. Cool. So now I'm going to do my base lighting. I'm going to make it slightly orange. I'm going to bring it out. I'm going to disable shadows, bring it down, make it their level, not the camera's level. I'm going to increase the max distance by a huge amount. Increase the max distance, there you go. I'm going to increase the Fazia 10 by a huge amount. Cool. To the point where you can see the back wall. And that back wall is actually quite far away, so it's not too bad. Cool. And then so people usually don't touch these attenuation sliders, but actually they're pretty powerful. The reason why people don't necessarily touch, say, linear attenuation is because currently it's set from 0 to 1000. It only needs to go from 0 to 1.
because when you do linear attenuation, what attenuation is the fall off value of the light. If you can imagine a point where the light is, and then the cone of the light's influence based off of the field of view. So the cone of the light's influence, the attenuation is how much the intensity of the light affects whatever it's pointing at based off of the distance from the point. So with a standard attenuation, which I think is something like, I'm not sure what the standard attenuation is. I think it might be quadratic or something. Then you can imagine a quadratic graph going from this point, which is the intensity, just going down like this. So that's a quadratic attenuation. It just goes, and then anything that's out here won't get as lit up as much. Constant attenuation, however, is just a straight line of the intensity from the point to whatever you're pointing at, with the distance being the max distance that is being set on here. So usually what happens is that when you, okay, so I changed linear attenuation. I meant to change constant. When you normally use constant attenuation, it just maxes out everything. And then people look at that and go like, I don't want that. That's dumb. But that's because constant attenuation should be a value between 0 and 1. And the default sets it to 0 and 1,000. So if you do it from a 0 to 1, you'll find that it's a lot more consistent. And this is because, the reason why it instantly floods everything out is because my intensity is currently too high. So I'm going to put my constant attenuation up to 1, and I'm going to put my intensity, I'm going to grab the intensity only, I'm going to use the 0 slider to move it down. And I'm going to keep doing that until I get to the point where it's a reasonable lighting. Now you can see here, I've got, no matter how far away this light is, you'll find that the illumination value of my characters does not change. It does not change at all. And you can see in the right shot, the viewpoint there, the attenuation value of them is not changing at all until the back screen will eventually, well, the back board, the bricks there, will eventually just completely disappear, fade to black, and then soon afterwards, so would they. But yeah, you can see how they're not reducing in their brightness value. That's what the constant attenuation achieves. And you can also see when I get closer to them as well, their brightness level doesn't change. So you see, the brightness level does not change no matter how close I am to them. If I get rid of the attenuation value and then put the intensity back up, you'll find that as I move away from them, they get darker and darker. And they're continuously getting darker and darker. And you can see the luminescence value getting lower and lower. That's because I'm getting further and further away from them. And that's normally how light works. So typically you don't necessarily want to mess around with the constant attenuation for realistic scenes and whatnot. But if you're just doing things like base lighting, like what I'm doing right now, then having the constant attenuation is very important. But yes, when you're getting closer to the characters, the light will get more and more intense. So if I zoom in, if I just move forward on Pear Butter here, and if I go really, really close to her, you'll see getting bigger, getting brighter, and then now it's supernovaing. I like to call this supernovaing because it just goes completely white and you can't see any detail on it anymore. That's what I call supernovaing. But if I bring the constant attenuation back up and then grab the intensity and move it back down to 0, or close to 0 as I want to get, you'll find that this sort of average brightness level, I can keep it at this level and then pull it away from her and it's still at that brightness level. That's what constant attenuation does. It's a very powerful tool that you can use, especially when considering base lighting. And it's also important for creating sun effects as well, for when the point source of the light is very far away, but you need to have a constant level of light from the sun, which I'm going to use, and you'll be able to see it in a few moments. I will just unload this map and go to the really big and totally black void, so I get rid of that wall in the background. Cool. Okay, so this is just base lighting, so I'm going to need to have 6 of these lights. I'm going to call this base. And I drank a coffee, which means I need to go to the bathroom, so I'll be right back. Oh,
Fuck it. I'll hold it for 15 minutes. I'm gonna stop the stream at about. No, fuck it. I need to go to the bathroom. Oh, stretch. All right. I'll be back in a bit. Oh, hang on. I've got a BRB thingy. Hang on. BRB. There you go. Hello! I am back! Oh, am I yelling at you again? No. Yes? No. Let me just... Because I'm pretty sure it's every time I load a map, it resets the microphone level. No, it hasn't. Okay, so it's only when I open SFM. Oh, I washed my hands and now they're cold. Cease this endless suffering. Alright. Cease my endless suffering. Okay, cool. So, base is here. Save that. I'm going to copy and paste. I'm going to call this base front. I'm going to make the base lighting also slightly orange, but I'm going to try that later. So I'm going to move this to the side.
And you can see, like, already they look a little bit better now. And this is going to be base. Right. Now, the other thing about having constant attenuation as well, and using constant attenuation, is that when I just did the thing I'm doing right now, where I just lazily put it from one side to the other, there is a way you can mathematically guarantee that these lights are the same distance away from each other, and that's by using a point which is centered between these two things, attaching the new light to that point and rotating it 90 degrees. That's the way you can get it to be guaranteed to be the exact same distance away from the characters. But if you can't guarantee there's the exact same distance, or you just want to do it quick and dirty like I just did there, you can't guarantee that the light, this side light is going to be the same distance away from this front light, which means if you're not using constant attenuation, the light that's at the side would be brighter than the light that's at the front, which wouldn't give that same level of constant base lighting as it should. So, using constant attenuation means that I can make this as close to or as far away from the characters as I want, and their brightness level won't actually change. The only reason why it changed there is because I went past the characters, and now I'm going back past them. So you can see that the actual brightness level of the characters isn't changing at all, no matter how close and no matter how far away I get from them. But if I was setting up these lights without constant attenuation, I have to make sure that it's the exact same distance away. Otherwise, this light will be brighter, and I'll have to affect the intensity. So yeah, there you go. So this one's going to be the back, which is very important for you to light up, the back of the characters, because, you know, you might not be able to exactly see all of these light points, but the back of the light is usually affecting like the edges of the character. If I just increase the intensity massively, you can see that there's the edges of the thing here, and then you've got the little grassy hill area, and then you've got these edges here. So yes, you can still sort of see the light, but it's... Can you say dreamlike? Or even better yet, oh, hang on, have a look at this! Neon. Oh, look at that. That's cool. Hey, that's really cool. I like that. Whoa, and maybe even purple. Oh no, it's check that out. That's really cool. And if I lower it even further, you get that sort of line here. And then if I copy this, paste it, and then bring it to the side, bring it up and to the side of behind them, then I can give more of an outline on this right side. And then if I paste it again, bring it to the right and up, can anybody say cyberpunk fucking outlines? Okay, so the grass there is a little bit off, but if I just get rid of the grass for a second, and then what I need to do with the camera is reduce the bloom scale. Boom! Cyberpunk outlines. Look at that shit. And then if I get rid of all the other lights, look at that! Look at that! Fucking hell! Holy shit! I just figured out how to do fucking cool outlines in SFM. Holy crap! What? What the fuck is that?
What does YES
Look at that!
Yes.
Look at that!
Okay, what does YES spell?
Yes.
What does EYES spell?
That looks so cool! Fuck! Oh, god damn!
Okay, what does YES spell?
Yes.
What does EYES spell?
Holy crap!
Okay, what does YES spell?
Yes.
What does EYES spell?
Yes.
And like, the other thing as well is that the work camera is not perfect. But if I switch to the timeline, it'll sort of half render this scene. And then you can see, wow,
What does EYES spell?
ES? What is happening?
Look at that. And the other thing as well about this, so the fun part that I have about what's currently happening is that technically these lights are actually supernovaing the outlines of these characters, and typically I like avoiding supernovaing, but what I'm doing right now is actually physically supernovaing. Hang on, it's not. Oh, supernovaing these specific.
What does YES spell?
Yes.
What does EYES spell?
Look at that.
ES.
That's so cool. So I'm specifically doing something that I wanted to avoid previously.
Okay. What
To
does
achieve an
YES
effect.
spell?
Yes.
What does EYES spell?
Yes.
What does EYES spell?
How cool is that? And the other part I find as well that I can do is if I grab, yeah, I'm just going to make my thing back to the normal size. So if I make my thing back to the normal size, and then make that one work camera, the normal camera, bring this, this one is the underneath one, so if I bring this underneath, I can make the outline more more apparent at the underneath area. And if I bring it down towards them, you can see more details being outlined. But then if I bring it back up, then less detail will be present. How fucking cool is that? I need to do something with this. I need to do something with this. This is incredible. Because the other thing as well is that if I turn that back on, you can see that, you know, the light still affects the characters. And the other thing as well is that I can do two renders, one with the normal lighting and another with this cell shaded sort of lighting, and then like combine the two in post-processing. Because usually the way that cell shading is achieved in SFM, by the way, this animation software is SFM. If I just put this as neon, holy shit, this is pretty fucking cool. This is pretty cool. Typically what happens is the way to achieve an outline in SFM, the quick and dirty way, is that you go to render settings and in ambient occlusion you put outline only or outline AO plus outline, and then you get this effect, which is really cool. I like it. But you don't have as great a control over it, and any things that affect the outline will also affect the ambient occlusion. Ambient occlusion are these little black dots that you can see around the characters. You change that in the settings of the camera. So you see I'm editing the bias here, and I can edit the strength as well and all that sort of stuff. I typically like having, if I just have a look at these ones, I like having a low radius, higher strength, and stronger bias about here. That's where I typically like having it, but it changes with the lighting. But having an ability to create, neon lighting like this, that's incredible. Because I previously, if I just get rid of my SFM capture, boom, I made that effect by broadcasting Quillo's walking pose onto a plain sheet of thing with a light that is supernovaing. So this is his shadow, and it has this sort of pixelated effect because that's what the lighting in SFM does when you have a wide field of view. When you have a wider field of view, the quality of the shadows get less and less, which makes it pixelated. Which is how I got this, which I really enjoy. SFM Pro. I've got different versions of this as well, I think. Stream materials. There's this one as well, which I also really like. There we go. That one as well is pretty cool. But I don't like the way the the matrix sort of thing is affected. But I like the way that Quillo's outline is a different color. And then I've also got this one, which cycles through colors, which I sort of was like, but I do like the simplicity of this standard one, which is nice. But yeah, so this is just Quillo's shadow that's being projected on an object where using a light that is supernovaing everything else. But if I go back to SFM here, these are supernova lights that are positioned in such a way that you can just see the little angle bit of it. And there's 4 lights here. And I think that is just incredible. And then you can do different sides, like this is left and right. And then this is up and down. And this is all 4 of them. And oh god, Lord, it looks so cool. And then in motion as well, because you like the thing that's difficult in like AO and whatnot is getting that. You see, he's got the detail of his teeth. You can see his teeth and her teeth. Look at that.
What is happening?
What does YES spell?
Yes.
What does EYES spell?
Yes. What are you crying for?
Look how cool that looks. Anyway, sorry, I'm freaking out about it, but that's really cool. Cool. So I'm just going to reset my thingy. I'm going to get rid of the neon lighting and put the regular lighting back on. Yeah, sorry. So this was all in a talk about what to avoid when doing lighting, and now I've just created a style which is like, hey, this is pretty fucking cool. But yeah. Because I was talking about why it's important to make sure your base lighting also covers the back of the characters, because of what the base light actually sees. And actually, no, I need to put it in front of the characters. There we go. I'm going to call this, rename, this one is back. Cool. And I was just talking about how what constant attenuation does in SFM. How no matter how close I get to these characters, they're gonna have the same lighting, the same brightness of lighting. Whereas if I take it off constant attenuation and put the intensity back up, as I get closer to them, they'll get brighter. As I get further away from them, they'll get darker. And that's something that you'd want to avoid when using base lighting, because base lighting is supposed to be constant. So if I just delete that, bring this camera back, and when moving the camera from side to side like I'm doing right now, this is very imprecise, but having the constant attenuation there allows me to put this camera, put this light however close or far away from it I ended up putting it, and it'll still have the same lighting, which is very good to see. But yes, I'm gonna have to use that neon somewhere. Oh, and the other thing I can do is if I just go back to the neon, check this fucking shit out. Ready? Are you prepared for this? I am not. I genuinely am not prepared for how cool this is gonna look. Ready? Blue, red, green. Look at that! How cool is that? Oh my god. And this one can be teal. How cool is that? Holy shit. You can have different colors on it. Man. Oh, and you can have the red and blue. Like if I just take rid of all of these colors and I do the first one is blue, the second one is red, the third one is blue, and the fourth one is red. Look at that. How cool does that look? Let's try complementary colors like red and green. So I'm going to have the first one is red, second one is green, third one is red, fourth one is green. Like that. Look at that. Fuck, that's cool. Anyway, so. Okay, and now I need to do the top light, which is another light that usually gets forgotten when talking about base lighting. The top one, very important. And the other one that usually gets forgotten is, see if you can figure it out, the bottom light. Because light comes from characters in all angles. The bottom light, however, you can see that it's sort of doing a bit of a weird effect here. So the bottom light actually needs to be less powerful because of the fact that a lot of the light gets absorbed from the base there. So this bottom light, I'm just going to grab the intensity and make it less. So there you go. So that makes it a little bit more realistic, but they're still being lit up from the bottom, but it's not as much. Cool. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab all of these lights. I'm going to grab the intensity of these lights. Cool. And I'm going to zero it down until it gets to a comfortable level where it's just the base lighting. So the reason why I'm doing this base lighting is that I'm determining how bright the shadows are going to be. So this is how bright, roughly, the shadows are going to be. Okay. So base lighting. That's the importance of base lighting. So if I just get the heal back, that's cool. That's how bright the shadows are going to be. The next thing I'm going to grab is I'm just going to get a sky card real quick. So sky card. I'm pretty sure Nari's sky cards are pretty good. Let me just have a look at which ones he has. So rig, set up, skin and body groups animation. So let's see which ones he has. It's on its side for some reason. Cool. Bring this down. Let's have a look at what skin it's going to be. Nah, it's too pixelated. Nah, these are all, what the hell? That doesn't look right at all. Those are all TF2 sky cards, so don't worry about those. The other ones are sky domes. Who the hell is this? I have no idea. Oh, is this? SFN only did the dead a little bit. I was looking at I was displaying. Okay, Cadet, hang on 1 second. I'm just gonna grab a sky dome real quick. I need to show you something. It looks really cool. I think this SFN. Okay, cool. I think this is the one I'm looking at. All right, cool. This is the one I'm looking at. All right, I need to show you something. The blanket does indeed look familiar. I wonder why that's the case. I'm pretty sure someone really awesome gave it to me, but I don't know. I can't remember. Check this out. Ready? Are you prepared? I'm not prepared. Are you prepared? Here we go. Oh, I'm just gonna get rid of the hill. 1 sec. Check that out. Check that out. Look at that. Holy crap. And the best part about it is that I can grab this, look around them as well, and they are fully rendered 3D sort of thing. And the best part is what it looks like in motion.
Okay, what does YES spell?
Yes.
What does EYES spell?
Yes.
And then I just realized, if I... Hang on, let me just copy this camera across. So I got the original position, put this camera as the normal one, and then check this out. Grab the transforms of all of these guys and attach it to the transform of this new camera. Check this out. Check this out. I can then it sort of looks really fucking cool. Look at that. Holy shit. I know. If you look back at the stream about I think it was about 30 minutes ago. I can't remember exactly when I discovered this, but I was talking about what constant attenuation is, what supernovaing is, and why it's good to make sure you have your base lighting that's behind the characters in the direction of the camera, because of the fact that, you know, there are some things that light up, and I maxed out the brightness of the back, and then I noticed how cool the little bits and pieces of that looked, and then I was like, what happens if I just move it up a little bit? And boom, I got this little bit here, where if I just get rid of these ones, I got that there. Actually, no, it was the top one. So I got that there, and I was like, holy crap. If I put it to the left and right, and then underneath as well, it looks so cool. And then I can also color it as well, which if I grab the red, green, and blue, and I'm reiterating what I said before, red, green, and blue, hang on, and say I'm gonna make everything 0 and make the first one red, the second one green, the third one blue, and the last one like teal or something, then you've got this effect here. Really freaking cool. The other thing I can do is I can make like the bottom and the left red, and then the top and the left green. Yeah, look how cool this looks. And then of course, since it's attached to the camera, if I bring this back, I can then move this around, and it will still have the same colors there. Where was this when I was doing Young Sweet Eyes? Yeah, I know, right? It looks so good. And the other thing I was remarking on as well is how it makes the teeth look. Like, you can actually see the teeth, the outline of the teeth there. Let me just bring the work camera up. Like, you can see the outline of the teeth, and that's usually not really effective when using the AO outlines, which it can happen, but then you can't really get these types of colors in there. So you've got the green, the yellow, and the thing. And the other thing is that with this sort of red and green, if you add the normal lighting back, boom, you've got something that looks different. I was gonna be like, wow, it's comic style, but it's kind of like, yeah. But yeah, it's so good. Yes. Yeah, so this is really freaking cool. And you notice that the the group I put it in is neon. Holy shit, this is pretty cool. But yeah, so that's basically what it is. And so yeah, I was pretty excited when I learnt that. And I wish I discovered this when Red Ace was doing his KDA video, because that would have also been fantastic as well to employ in this. So yeah, I'm really excited with the stuff that I could possibly do with that. Anyway. For the cat, yeah, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, I'm now going to do a sun. So I'm going to do a sun. And I feel like I should make a tutorial about this, but we'll see how this goes. I would like to use it for the so I'm gonna have when I eventually get back to the vinyl song that's definitely on the back burner. It's gonna be another story where it's similar to the Markiplier Let's Play animation, where I start it and then I'm like, and then I take 2 years of break, and then I'm like, and see if I can get back to it. But we'll see what happens. But I want to employ that for the so when the characters are talking about their lives, I'm going to have their mouth close up in the background to get rid of all the buildings and see a building in the background. Close up, and it's going to be lip syncing to that, and it's going to be the outline that I noticed there. I'm probably going to use that for that. Yes. You'll probably, let's be honest here, you're probably going to get through like 3 or 4 different iterations of the song before I finish it. But yeah, so let's make a sun. So I'm gonna bring this away. I'm gonna bring the max distance up really far. I don't think I need the Fazia 10. I do need the Fazia 10. So the Fazia 10 specifically determines how far away the maximum light is. But you can see I'm achieving the effect I just described there again, which is really cool. And the other benefit of this as well, is that you're able to exactly identify which part of the models is being affected by the light, which is really good to see. And if I want the sun to be coming in from behind them, so that's where that's going to be. Cool. So now what I need to do is bring the intensity down and keep bringing it down, and then keep bringing it down a little bit more. Okay, so that's probably the only drawback to using constant attenuation, is that eyes sort of get messed up by it. Yeah. So it looks like we can't do that for suns. That's a shame. Oh, I think I know why. Hang on. Constant attenuation. If I bring this back to 1. There we go. Yep, that's fine. Cool, excellent. Ha. So I had it at like 200 or something, which is not good. Cool, so let's bring this here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm also going to add volumetrics. Cool. And now what I need to do is bring the work camera out, increase the volumetric intensity so I can see where it's being affected. And you can see that's what it's being affected. And the volumetric intensity as well as the shadow quality is going to be really crap, because it determines, like, it sort of like stretches it between the min and max distance. So you need, in order to get the best volumetric quality as possible, you need to increase the minimum distance until you can see that line go just before the characters, and then decrease the maximum distance until it goes just in front of the characters. So let me just grab this, grab that max distance, delete some of those zeros, and then bring it back down. Oh, here we go. So decrease the max distance until it's about here. So that's how you get the best volumetric quality, is by decreasing that one. I'm thinking, like, I'm very ham in hand about Twitch. So, like, I feel like what I'm doing here may or may not. What's this? Oh, that's for the SFM break. Right, cool. I'm very ham in hand about Twitch. I like keeping the animation stuff on YouTube, but I'll see about it. Maybe, because I feel like Twitch is more for gameplay stuff. But But yes, if I was on Twitch, you would have rated, which would have been pretty cool. And I've been like, yeah, thanks, Cadet, for the raid. But thanks, Cadet, for coming in anyway. So there you go. I'm not talking to your audience here. I'm talking to you. All right. Anyway, so let's have a look. I'm going to decrease the volumetric intensity again because I don't want it to be that big. I want to get, where's that skydome? There it is. I'm going to put that hill back in. Cool. I would like the setting to be more late afternoon. So let's have a look at set up skin and body groups animation. Let's have a look at the skin. What skins do I have available? I don't want it to be cloudy. Don't want it to be nighttime. Oh, Gabe Newell. That's good.
Just having an animation with that scrolling in the background. Gay Ben. What's this tomfuckery I'm seeing before my very eyes? Anyway. The other option I can do for a sky card is just having a gradient. I don't think I want too many clouds because that would white out the thing quite a bit. That's a good one. I think that's fine. And the other thing I'm going to do as well is just add scale and make it smaller so I can increase the definition of it. I'm going to have to make it bigger. Cool. And now I can see what side it is. The other thing I like about a sky dome specifically is that if you want the clouds to move, you just kind of add a rotation to it, and then boom, you've got moving clouds. Boom. Increases the realism of the scene tenfold. The only difficulty is that if I zoom in, you can sort of see the roughness of the texture, which I don't really vibe with. So, but that's one of those things that you just have to like sort of accept when it comes to SFM. It's not going to be perfectly realistic. It's not going to be perfect. But I need it to be. Do it. Cool. The other thing I can do as well, if I just grab new model, black hole gradient, I believe it's in number 3. I'm just going to have a look at the gradients real quick, and I'm just scrolling through the skins to find that perfect late evening clear sky. That one could work. Skin 9 of number 1. That one's too harsh. That one's too harsh as well. So skin 9 of number 1. Let's go ahead and bring that in real quick. So here's if I grab the skin and pull it up to skin 9. Yep, that's that one. Gonna have the audio cleaned a little bit more also. Which one's that one for? Is that one for the thing? Is that for No Rest for the Wicked? I don't know how to clean audio, so I don't yes, hopefully. So if I just grab this, and then D for both, no, D, what? Oh, it's upside down, so right for both, and then, there we go. The eyes. Oh, no, I kind of like the aesthetic of the
What does YES spell?
that sort of audio. I don't really want to tamper with it too much because if I do tamper it, I'm gonna get it wrong. So that. Oh, actually, wait, hang on. It needs to be opposite to this. So I'm gonna put it here and then bring this over here. There we go. Both ups and bring it out. Cool. So that'd be one way to make a sunset here. I'll send it to him, see what he can do with it. That'd be pretty cool. But again, like, I'll have to compare the two because I do really enjoy the way that this one sounds. Because the other part as well is that the other well, I'm going to be ending the stream soon because I have to pick up Dad from the airport. So there's that. So the stream is probably going to be ending in a bit, not too long, but in a bit. I do have to make sure I don't miss him. So yes. But yeah, oh, what was I talking about? yeah, I'll have to compare the two because this was filmed in a car, and one of the great parts about a car is that seats make really good sound insulation. So if you want to get like a decent quality of audio, but you don't have access to like a studio, or if you don't want to add it to, if you don't want it to add too much reverb and things like that, then record it in your car. It's the cheapest way, and well, cheapest, that is if you have a car and want to own a car, which I do not. But I mean, you know, you could rent a car, I don't know, but yeah, that's, if you do have a car or have access to a car, then that's probably one of the easiest way to get decent sound quality in your microphone. The other way to do it is to have it done in your closet as well. That's another one, to record it in your closet, because your clothes make really good sound insulation. But if you are going to record it in your closet, don't push all your clothes to one side. Actually make a gap in between it. And then see as well if you can try and put some clothes like not only in between this way, but also down this way, because you want to remove all reverberation from it. So if you are able to get like a jacket or something, like a puffer jacket or something like that, put it over one side and then another jacket on the other side, and then the rest of your clothes, your t-shirts and whatever, make a little dome for yourself, and then that's the best way. The only problem with that is that you can't move too much, because if you rustle too much, you'll rustle the clothes, make little sounds everywhere else, which will affect your audio recording. So just be mindful of that. Gaben. Yes, it is good. So I'm going to rename this to Sunlight, and we're going to be. But so the reason why I had to do this one a little bit earlier is because I have to pick up Dad from the airport. But next stream, not next week, it's going to be another 8 days. I'll make sure to put a link and do that before the end of the stream, or just at the end of the stream, and post it into my Discord server. It's going to be at the normal time, so 10 o'clock my time, which is whatever time it is, 2 hours after the start of this one. So about now in 8 days is going to be the next stream, so Saturday sometime. Yeah, so that's when it's going to be, and you'll be able to use the thing to make sure. I'm not a fan of this here, so I'm going to have to see about reducing the bias. What is that? Oh, I know what that is. So the sunlight, I'm going to decrease the shadow a 10, and then I'm going to reduce it. Reduce the field of view. And I'm also going to reduce the shadow filter size. There we go. There we are. So let me just grab the shadow filter size again. Zero it just like that. Cool. Now let me go back to the camera and just fix up these again. Increase the radius slightly. Decrease the strength. Increase the bias a little bit. Just kind of get it to where I like it. Just there is nice. And the volumetric intensity, I am going to increase until you can't see it, because that's the best way to make the best animation, is to make it so that no one can see what you're doing. I'm just going to increase it a little bit. It's probably best actually to bring the sunlight over this way, so there's less on the front and more on the back. So I do like this late afternoon aesthetic. I would like to have clouds in the background though, because that makes it a little bit more realistic, in my opinion. Unless of course I just cover it with mountains and shit, so that's the other thing I can do. Yes, so yes. Ooh. All right. Cool. That's about as much as I'm going to be able to get through today. However, I just want to test one more thing. So, if I just want to test one more thing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a long line of something like a pole. Is there any poles around? I just need to grab a single pole. This one. There we go. Sine pole. Cool.
what I'm going to do is I'm going to increase its size. Cadet's going to freak out when I'm pretty sure Cadet's going to freak out when I do the thing I'm hoping on doing. Increase the size? No, it's about right. Yeah, the default size is pretty good. I'm going to lay it down. Get rid of the hill. Cool. I'm going to get rid of the sun. Just delete sun. And I'm also going to get rid of the sky card as well. Cool. So I've got this pole. I'm going to make sure it's completely flat. So let me just grab this, which one here, grab this one and say -90. Cool. I'm going to, nope. Get this pole, move it forward to about here. I do also have to make sure it's completely straight as well, which is this line here. Oh, again, I'm doing the silly. Cool. So this one here. That's not right. This one. Yeah. No. Wait. Eh. Oh, this one. No. Eh.
Did I do a silly?
I did a silly. Okay, that's fine. I'll just put it like that. Cool. And then I'm going to copy this. Let's see if let's see. Cadet's probably not watching the stream at the moment, so she might not be able to see exactly what I'm doing. But I feel as though she would guess pretty quickly once she actually looks at it. So we'll see how it goes. Grab this, copy that. That's fine. Paste. Grab this sign pole. I'm going to move it this way. Grab these sign poles again. Copy. That's fine. Paste. I'm just going to unlock this so it stops telling me. Grab all of the, no, not all of these, the last 4. Move them this way. Cool. I paste it again, just the last 4. Move it this way. Grab all of these, copy, paste, move it this way. Cool. Now I'm going to grab all of these again, copy them, paste it, grab the first one, grab the root transform of this, open up all of the previous ones. No, hang on, I can just select all of them, I believe. That could work, hopefully. Select all of these, select this, lock transform to root transform. Does it do the thing I want it to? Yes, cool. I'm going to turn this one to be, is it 180? Nope. Oh, that's right. It's a dingus. Grab it like this. Bring it this way. Okay, so it's not perfect. I need to make it that way. Cool. Bring it forward. And then down like this. Get rid of the fence as well. Let's get rid of the scene. There we are. Oh, actually, no. I can get rid of the fences. That's fine. Okay. So what the hell? Where's that solo one? What the fuck? This one. 23. Why? Cool. And then this one, which is 46. Delete. Very cool. I'm gonna get 34. Move it forward. Oh, that's why. Dingus. Move it forward. I might actually just put it like this and then line it up this way. Cool. Oh, is it slightly underneath as well? No, it's, oh, slightly, it is slightly underneath. Cool. Excellent. Now I'm gonna copy all of these, unlock the transforms, and then copy all of them. And then move this over here, and then move it down so it lines up properly. Okay. Grab all of these ones. I'm excited, by the way. I'm really excited about this. Move it a little bit forward, a little bit up, a little bit down, actually. Cool. And now, turn on the neon. I'm going to have to copy one of the neons. Just going to group all of these together. I'm going to call it something important. Paste that. Bring it up. So, I might actually need to push it away from the camera, maybe. But basically, this is what I'm intending on doing. Get rid of the grid. The grid. And then if I go ahead and increase the camera's bloom scale by a little bit. By a little bit. Boom. The grid. And then what I was intending on doing is making sure that the characters are not affected by it. So let's go ahead and grab the minimum distance and see if I can make it so that the characters are not affected by it. Nope. Get rid of one of the zeros. Okay, that's a bit too much. I'm going to change it to 6,000. Okay, there we go. What the hell? Dingus! Alright, hang on one sec. I'm going to change it to 1.5. Damn. I was hoping I could just not have the characters there, but actually just have the grid there. And basically what I was hoping to do is have a light shining from underneath them so they could have a light coming from the grid. But I might just have to render the grid as a separate thing, maybe. But yeah, so that's basically what I just had this thought of like, oh, I could do that. And that's what that is. So yeah, the grid. Look at that. That's pretty cool. Anyway. Delete that. Delete that. Put the lights back on. Put this black hole grading back on. Bring back the scene. Beep, boop, boop, beep. Beep, 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 boop. And bring back the sun. Cool. So that's going to be it for me for today. Ooh. Do I have pear trees? I don't think I have pear trees. I might have to see if there's any pear tree models out. Yeah, I don't have any pear trees, so that's not good. So I'll have to see if it's on like a workshop or anything. But I do have apple trees, so there's that. But yes, so that is today's stream. I do have to leave because I have to get on the road, so I can pick up Dad from the airport. And I hope to see you guys all again soon. Next week, plus one day, I will, in fact, make the schedule now, so I have to stick to it. Schedule another stream. Same as this one. Reuse settings. This one's going to be 73. I'm just gonna get the Discord link. Cool. No, it's not made for kids because there's a whole bunch of swearing and shit in it. That's one of the other things that I just want to rant about real quick. I hate the way that YouTube is deciding to do the made for kids thing, and I hate the way made for kids is decided upon in just this culture in general, because there are plenty of things which is marked as made for kids which actually is made for family, and there's a big difference between made for kids and made for family. I would not say that something like The Prince of Egypt is made for kids. It's a cartoon, it's directed towards the family, which include kids, but it's not made for kids. There's a lot of messages and nuances in that which will go straight over a kid's head. And the sort of content that you have to make in order to make it not made for kids is ridiculous. It pigeonholes animators, specifically animators, because people always have this assumption that animation is just for kids. It pigeonholes animators to making graphic material just so that they can explain that it's not for kids. I'm gonna have like a Patreon message at the end of every animation with Quillo like strangling something or killing something just to say, hey, it's not made for kids, it's got killing in it. But this animation itself is probably gonna get marked for kids because it's an animation where nothing bad happens, so therefore it's made for kids. And it's got, you know, characters from My Little Pony, so it's made for kids. And that disgusts me because I'm gonna have to do something graphic so that I can say, hey, it contains this video is not made for kids. I don't want to have to do that, but I have to in order to make sure that majority of my audience actually sees it. So we'll see how it goes. When I finish it and if it gets released and it if it gets made for kids, or if it gets identified as made for kids, I'm gonna have to do something like that, and I don't want to have to, but I'm going to have to. So there, that's that little rant that I really don't like how made for kids is just done, which is stupid. All right, cool. So next week plus 1 day, the 26th for my end, 25th likely for your end at 10 o'clock. So the usual time, and I'll press done. Excellent. And of course, if anything else comes up, go ahead and go to my Discord server, into the announcements chat, and you'll be able to see what the changes are. Much like how today, I had to run the stream a little bit earlier than normal, because of the fact that because of the fact that it was because it was an extraneous situation. There we go. So yeah, next week plus 1 day at about this time, and I'll be doing another stream then. So thank you so much for joining me here today. We had a lot of laughs, we had a lot of fun, and I made something really cool, which I'm probably going to use for something else at a later time. But otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you guys again soon. Why is it? Oh, okay. I see what it's. Uh-oh. This one's currently live. All right, cool, excellent. Anyway, bye. Sorry, the thing I was panicking about was that I went to the new stream that I just scheduled, and it said, go live, and I'm like, what the fuck, was I not streaming this entire time? No, I was having sort of an existential crisis just there. Anyway, but yeah, have a good one, and I will see you in 8 days. So, good luck, and goodbye. Yeah.